Hello students, welcome to today's English class. Today you will learn and recite the poem Apostrophe to the Ocean. This poem is written by George Gordon Byron and this is from the 9th chapter of your MCB book. Let's know about the poem. The poem Apostrophe to the Ocean is a masterpiece of George Gordon Byron. This poem says about poet's love for nature. As this poem is entirely dedicated to the mighty ocean, the main subject of this poem is about man versus nature. This apostrophe to the ocean is an excerpt of a long narrative poem of Gordon Byron, and the name of the poem is Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, which was written in 4 parts from 1812 to 1818, and these 7 stanzas are from part 4. Now let's take a look at some of the facts about tsunami. Now why I am saying about or talking about tsunami here? Because this poem is about the power of an ocean. About 80% of tsunami occur inside the Pacific Ocean's ring of fire. Tsunamis are always high on energy and can travel 1,000 miles in any sea. Japan has the longest written history of tsunami. One shouldn't swim in the tsunami wave water as the momentum is continually dismantling the individual to the other way. Tsunami is generally known as a killer wave. Palm trees with solid trunks are planted on shore as they are known to endure a tsunami. So, this is about tsunami. About the poet George Gordon Byron. He was born in 1788 in London. He is regarded as one of the greatest and widely read British poets. He has many works to his credit, and some of his most popular works are Don Juan, The Curse of Minerva, and Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. He was a romantic poet and travelled wide. This famous popular poet passed away in 1824. And this Childe Harold Pilgrimage, this is about, you can say, traveling account, and then he jot down his experiences in the form of poetry. Now let's recite the poem.
Apostrophe to the ocean. There is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is a rapture on the lonely shore. There is society where none intrudes, by the deep sea, and music in its roar. I love not man the less, but nature more. From these are interviews in which I steal from all I may be or have been before, to mingle with the universe and feel what I can never express, yet cannot all conceal. Roll on, thou deep and dark blue ocean, roll. 10,000 fleets sweep over thee in vain. Man marks the earth with ruin. His control stops with the shore upon the watery plain. The wrecks are all thy deed, nor doth remain a shadow of man's ravage save his own. When for a moment, like a drop of rain, he sinks into thy depths with bubbling groan. Without a grave, unknelled, uncoffined, and unknown. His steps are not upon thy paths, thy fields are not a spoil for him. Thou dost arise and shake him from thee. The wild strength he wields for earth's destruction thou dost all despise, spurning him from thy bosom to the skies, and sendest him shivering in thy playful spray, and howling to his gods where haply lies his petty hope in some near port or bay, and dashest him again to earth, there let him lay. The armaments which thunderstrike the walls of rock-built cities, bidding nations quake, and monarchs tremble in their capitals, the oak leviathans whose huge ribs make their clay creator the vain title take of Lord of thee and Arbiter of war. These are thy toys, and as the snowy flake, they melt into thy east of waves, which mar alike the armada's pride or spoils of Trafalgar. Thy shores are empires, changed in all save thee. Assyria, Greece, Rome, Carthage, what are they? Thy waters washed them power while they were free, and many a tyrant since their shores obey the stranger, slave, or savage. Their decay has dried up realms to deserts, not so thou, unchangeable safe to thy wild waves play. Time writes no wrinkles on thine azure brow, such as creation's dawn beheld, thou rollest now. Thou glorious mirror, where the Almighty's form glasses itself in tempests, in all time, calm or convulsed, in breeze or gale or storm, icing the pole or in the torrid clime, dark heaving, boundless, endless, and sublime, the image of eternity, the throne of the invisible. Even from out thy slime, the monsters of the deep are made. Each zone obeys thee. Thou goest forth, dread, fathomless, alone. And I have loved thee, ocean, and my joy of youthful sports was on thy breast to be. Borne like thy bubbles onward, from a boy I wantoned with thy breakers. They to me were a delight, and if the freshening sea made them a terror, 'twas a pleasing fear. For I was as it were a child of thee, and trusted to thy billows far and near, and laid my hand upon thy mane as I do here. George Gordon Byron.
Now you are going to watch the animation that is made on this poem.
The poet George Gordon Byron in the poem Apostrophe to the Ocean expresses the power of the ocean and his bond with the ocean. In this verse, the poet expresses his love for nature. He finds happiness walking in the untrodden woods, lonely shore, or the deep sea where he can hear the sounds of nature. He can neither express nor can he hide them as he mingles with nature. He further adds that man may have conquered the earth and has ruined it with the industrialization, but he cannot win over the massive oceans. A wave can overpower man and sink him deep into the ocean. Man remains powerless in front of the ocean as the ocean tosses him up till the heaven and dashes him back to the earth. This is nature's way of paying back man for the destructions he has caused on earth. The ocean is hostile as it lashes onto rock-built cities and huge oak trees, destroying them as if they were little toys. The destruction is no less than the scenes after a war. Great cities like Assyria, Greece, Rome, Carthage have all disappeared as the ocean waters have washed them away. With time, the debris of these cities have decayed with time and turned into a deserted land. The ocean remains powerful as ever and never weakens with age. In every form, the ocean seems endless and grand. It expresses eternity and carries the power of a throne. Every place obeys the ocean as the ocean continues to move ahead alone and fathomless. The poet shares an old relationship with the ocean. As a child, he played water sports. He spent carefree times at the shores where the touch of the waves refreshed him. The trust between him and the ocean has always been like that of a parent and child. Man's progress has been destroying nature. Find out how oceans are getting polluted and the impact it will have on living beings.
Now it's time for home assignment. So I suggest you to recite the poem again and again. Then you will write about the poet in your MCB copy, and if you wish you can paste a picture of the poet or you can draw the picture of the poet. Then you will write the word meaning from your book in your MCB copy. So once again reminding you to recite the poem, and this much for today. Thank you students. Stay safe.